1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Son, Rob, we rise again. Peace to the family. Cheers. I be needing to take a break in between these videos because I be talking straight and I don't even be sipping. But this is about to be the wrap up to the 3-part video. The modalities and the elements of the science. So you guys have a better understanding. Now in the first video, we went down explaining the modalities and what they are, what they represent. Last video, I addressed the opposites of fire and water and what they represent. Now I'm about to talk about earth and air. You feel me? Now, give me a second. I had to go get my charger, so now the angle look different on this video just cause my phone was dying. So yeah, I don't want the phone to die on this last little video, so I got the charger. But yeah, so you know, what is air and what is earth? Now in my last video, as I said, I explained that earth is logical thought. Earth is a practical thought, and air is logical thought. You feel me? Now, the way how I like to think about this, I like to think of everything as the element itself. You feel me? I gave the analogy in the last video with the fish being at the top for Pisces, crab being in the middle for Cancer, and scorpion being in the middle for fixated Scorpio at the bottom or whatever, right? So now, and with fire, pretty much Sagittarius. For fire, it would be the flame will want to be seen. That's like Leo. Aries would be the initiation of the explosion, and then after the fire is already exploded and all scattered out, that would be Sagittarius. You feel what I'm saying? So now we have to understand earth and air. So I'm gonna start off with earth, because earth has to do with practical thought. Anything that has to do with this third dimensional earth way of thinking, anything that got to do with stable structure, things of that nature, it usually does with earth natures, whatever, right? So earth signs are you know, they're stable and they're consistent. You feel what I'm saying? And they're hard working. They work very hard. You feel what I'm saying? Earth signs would be the signs that you will see not happy unless they have a job, especially them Capricorn, especially the Capricorns. You feel what I'm saying? They're loyal. You feel what I'm saying? They're loyal, they're nurturing, and obviously Earth is dealing with logical thoughts, so they're very logical. You feel what I'm saying? And pretty much with Earth signs, we just gotta understand the modalities of the Earth signs. You feel what I'm saying? So Taurus would be fixated Earth. You feel what I'm saying? So Taurus, they're consistent and they're hardworking and they're stable as well, but they just so stuck in their way of sustaining, you know. And this is why we got to learn our whole entire chart, because the placement in one part of your chart doesn't just mean like this is how you are. Like if you're a Taurus sun, I'm not about to just say like, yo, this is how you are as a whole person. You have a whole chart, you got houses, you got asteroids and all that shit. So this, like, throw all that sun sign, that's who you are, throw all that shit out the window. You feel what I'm saying? But the energy signature of Taurus moves very slow, and they're fixated Earth. So that means that they're stuck in their own ways of their own logical thought. You feel what I'm saying? So if they have a certain type of grind that they want to do, and they see the logical way of how they want to do the grind, say they like, all right, I want to go get some studio equipment, so I'm gonna go get this job interview then I'm gonna work this job. I'm gonna have to work it for about 2.5 months before I get enough money to buy the studio equipment. You feel what I'm saying? A Taurus would think like that and then act out on those actions. It would take them like 3 months to go get that studio equipment, but to them that's cool. You feel me? Meanwhile, they might have a homie and shit. They might have like an Aries homie or some shit and be like, yo, man, yo, we just started this Shopify business. Yo, we made like 100 the first day. Like, you should just get on this wave and, you know, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. The Taurus might look at that shit and they might be like, yeah, that shit sound good, sound logical and all that type of shit. But they might just be so comfort in that slow shit. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing about Taurus and Earth signs in general is all that logical thought. You feel what I'm saying? Like the Shopify shit, that would be an idea. That'll be more of air because it's more of a corresponding to intellect. You feel what I'm saying? That's what more of air has to do with. You feel what I'm saying? More logical thoughts, more. You feel what I'm saying? More logical than practical. You feel what I'm saying? And not saying Earth signs can't be logical, but they're mostly practical. What makes sense to them at that current state of time? You feel what I'm saying? You telling the Earth sign they need to start a Shopify store and they need to invest in ads and this, that, and the third. They might be like, okay, that sounds logical. The steps sound logical, but is it practical? Am I getting a definite check every week? You feel what I'm saying? So that's the difference. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, that's a fixated Earth. That's Taurus for you. You feel what I'm saying? They're very slow. They fixated on their own practical way of thought. And yeah, now Virgo, we have Virgo. Virgo is mutable, right? So the mutable sign of Virgo is ruled by. I'm trying to stay away from what these planets are ruled by because I want to just do a whole video like that too. You feel what I'm saying? But you gotta know Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is thought and communication. So the modality of Virgo is is adapting and changing its way of thinking and communicating practical thoughts with others. You see what I'm saying? So you know, Virgos make good you know what I'm saying, anything that has to do with like speech, talking, anything that has to do with like Mercury energy mixed with Earth energy, which is what we're going over right now. Anything that has to do with structure, status, stableness, consistency, hard work, loyalty, nurturing that practical idea, like nurturing that job you got one day and then you working 3 months to get your studio equipment, nurturing that seed, that practical seed you plant. You feel what I'm saying? That's what Earth signs is all about. So just know that Virgos, their way of like, you know, like Taurus is ruled by Venus, so they're more of the loving energy mixed with the practical energy. You feel what I'm saying? And then Virgo would be more of the Mercury energy mixed with the practical energy. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, that goes over Virgo. And then Capricorns, which is the beginners of the seasons, the power of the initiators or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Capricorns would try to initiate practical ways of how to move in this world. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I personally know a lot of Capricorns that are not happy unless they have a job. You feel me? Like, they're gonna be depressed, they're gonna be in the emotions, they're gonna be in their feelings, like their whole shit gonna be fucked up because in their practical minds, they like, man, I'm not working a job, I'm not getting no income, like shit just doesn't happen. And like, yeah, you feel me? Gotta let the bugs free. Shout out to the camera. But yeah, so that's Earth. Some of the negative aspects of Earth signs that could play out based upon your alignment would be, they could be some lazy ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They could just be the ones that are just comfortable working a job and be so much in that Earth shit that, you know what I'm saying, they just don't want to try to do anything else because it's not practical to them. So if you have a lot of earth in your chart, you know what I'm saying, you might just be stuck at a job or not feel happy unless you're working or something. You feel what I'm saying? Something in this realm in reality, right? So now air signs would be, this movie good as fuck. But air signs, oh, I just spilled the smoothie. It's all good. At least the grass got it. But yeah, air signs, the positive aspects of air signs would be they're thoughtful and witty. You feel what I'm saying? They seem like they could be carefree. And they like, you know, they could be looked at as independent, depending on the alignment though, you feel what I'm saying? But for the most part, air signs be independent and shit, you feel me? They be having so much ideas and thoughts and shit. Now the difference with the thoughts that earth signs and air signs be getting, earth signs will be getting the thoughts where it's practical. So they will be getting the thoughts like, oh, how am I going to get from point A to point B to point B to point C to point D? Like, they gonna really map that shit out. Versus air signs, we might be thinking about point K before we even start point A. You feel what I'm saying? So like, that's why earth and air kind of are good balancing with each other, because too much of that earth energy, you just gonna be trapped in an earthly thing. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have like no fourth dimension thought. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you could grasp on the earth, you can't grasp on the air. You feel what I'm saying? So the air signs, we be all the way up there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So we need help coming back down here, because ultimately we living in the earth realm. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? We living in the earth realm, so sometimes we need to come down to that shit. Being an air sign, we need to come down and shit, you feel what I'm saying? And sometimes earth signs need to come up. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about balance. You feel me? Some negative aspects that the air sign could hold would be that they could be inconsistent. They could have so much fucking thoughts, unlike the earth sign where they're so focused on getting to point A, B, C, D. Air signs, we might have one thought sound good, we could see it, blah blah blah. Other people might be able to see it around us, but we can see it, and then it's just like, you know, we just don't act on the shit because we have like a billion other ideas we working on. Like I said, we start from point K when we're really supposed to be starting from point A. You feel what I'm saying? So that shit get crazy in itself. You feel me? We could also be looked at as insensitive. You feel what I'm saying? Now, insensitive in a way of we might not be, depending on your alignment once again, but we just talking about general air, we might not be able to connect, you know what I'm saying, emotionally to your emotions about a circumstance, but we might have some ideas for it. You feel what I'm saying? So you could have a homie or whatever, they just broke up out of their relationship. They was in their relationship for like a year, so you know they hurting, you know, they partner cheated on them and turned out to be a person they would never expect, blah blah blah. So they, at this time, they might need some love, some understanding. You feel what I'm saying? They might need to do some self-forgiving and forgiving of others, like water traits. You feel what I'm saying? But being air, we might just be like, you know what I'm saying, we might just try to make them laugh, you know what I'm saying, try to charm them up a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? We might try to give them ideas to you feel me, just get their mind off that shit. But when it comes to the connecting to the emotion and all that water shit, air sign lack that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's air, it's not water. But once again, this is why it's the beautiful thing, because you could be an air sign, but then your Venus, your Mars, your moon could be water signs, and it's just like you'll be able to help that person out. You'll be getting ideas that has to do with emotions that you could offer to that person and shit. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just a little example or whatever. But air signs are also very flexible. You feel what I'm saying? So with air signs, you know, even though they might have 1,001 things to do, air signs could do that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and they usually do. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if you got a strong alignment backing you. Some of the negative aspects of being an air sign would be they could be damn, I already went with the negative and shit, cause I said they could be inconsistent already. My fault. Insensitive. My fault. That's me. They could also be selfish, come off as selfish, or they could come off as flaky. Because mind you, they dealing with the 101 thoughts and shit. You might have made plans with the air sign. Air sign done made 3 other plans, and you know it's having to do with themselves, their well-being and shit like that. And they just, you know, they would flake. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all supposed to go to the club, and the air sign figured out that, you know, he just wanted to kick back, smoke a blunt, and look up astrology and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? And he gonna flake on his friends and shit, you know. And you know, it happens sometimes. So yeah, so that's earth and air for you guys. Real quick, the modalities of the air, so you guys know. Gemini is mutable. Shout out to the Geminis. So Geminis are able to adapt and change the way how they think and communicate towards others, or any person, place, or thing of that matter. Libras are cardinal, so cardinal signs is the beginning power of the initiators. So Libras make good leaders because they could initiate thoughts and ideas to people, you feel what I'm saying, or other person, places, or things, as well as for themselves, you feel what I'm saying. And like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like they good with initiating certain thoughts and ideas and shit, you feel what I'm saying. They would just need some of that earth energy to help practicalize those ideas and the thoughts, and then boom, you lit. And then Aquarius would be fixated air, and you know, fixated has to do with sustaining, you feel what I'm saying. So Aquarius would be in they natural way of thought, and it would kind of be hard to get them out of that natural way of thought, you feel what I'm saying, because their ears is just so thick, you know what I'm saying. Like, you can't move them, you know what I'm saying. Like, they moving you and shit, like, you know what I'm saying. And yeah, so that's the difference between all the elements. This is part 3 of my video. And yeah, shout out to the family. 7 Sun right here. Stay in tune.